Hey toy friends, so in this video we are going to a local doll shop here in Chicago. It's called Gigi's Dolls and Sherry's Teddy Bears, and this shop it's been around for a long time, and they specialize in antique dolls, like baby dolls from like the early 1900s, late 1800s. They're like super old, and teddy bears. So if that's your thing, Gigi's is the place. But they also have a bunch of like pockets of fashion dolls, like Barbie, Integrity, stuff like that. So also they also have like American Girl dolls, and there's a section of like Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls. So there's a bunch of like other things as well, but a majority of the stuff is more like antique-y stuff. They also repair dolls, which is pretty cool. So if you have like a vintage like baby doll or whatever that you got passed down to you from like your grandmother or mom or whatever, they will repair it if it needs anything. So that's really cool. Yeah, so a bunch of toy friends, local toy friends, and I went there this past weekend, and I did record footage. I did not do, you'll be getting a voiceover today. So, yeah. But anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw you to the footage. Quick warning, it's not the best recording that I've ever done. I don't know. I think I was just kind of like overwhelmed by everything in the store. So what I was looking at wasn't actually what I was recording. So there's a little bit of that. So I apologize in advance, but it's good. The footage is fine. So anyway, I'm going to throw you to that, and then we'll come back for my super tiny haul, meaning one item, and I will see you soon. So here is Gigi's Dolls. This is the signage. It's weird. It's like located inside of a building that has no facade, basically. You would never know this was in here. Outside of the actual store, there's a case, as you can see, with a bunch of dolls. Also, in this video, you're gonna see a lot of me in reflections because there's lots and lots of glass cases. So get used to that. I apologize in advance. Here's some cool Monster High customs that are featured, and I think these are all for sale as well. So this is fun. And then there's also a table out in front with a bunch of free dolls. So a lot of these were more like baby dolls. I did pick up a stand. Do you see that large stand on the right there? I did pick up a stand for my American boy or American Girl boy doll. But yeah, all this stuff is not really my cup of tea, but it's cool that it's like free and you can like take it if you're into it. So that's fun. But yeah, and then at the end here, I forget what these are called. I know Chad's grandmother collected these. Stacey Ann, I think, or something Ann. But yeah, they had a bunch of these. I was tempted to pick up one of these just for the box, because I think the boxes are cute, but you know. Some more shots. I don't know why I have so much footage of this table, but here we are. All right, so then we go in. This is the entrance. And as you can see, I tried to get like a good pan of the store. There's a lot of stuff in here. So you can definitely spend a lot of time just looking. So here we have some Barbies. Also, with the amount of dolls, I kind of glazed over a little bit because I was like trying to record and at the same time kind of show what I was looking at. So I didn't get like a super good look at everything I was actually looking at. The other thing about the store is that you could spend hours and hours and hours in here because there's so much to look at. These are a bunch of the Jean Marshall dolls. I have one of the Trent dolls, but there's actually more, and you'll see that in a bit. These are some outfits, I believe Jean Marshall outfits, but then, yeah, there's some Integrity dolls down here. And then some more up here. Again, I apologize for the glare. But yeah, a lot of Integrity. Not a ton of boy dolls, but a lot of girl dolls. Not surprising. The Eartha Kitt. I totally missed. I just noticed that right now as I'm reviewing the footage. So definitely missed a bunch of stuff. And I think the pricing is pretty on par with eBay pricing. So it's not, the dolls aren't like crazy priced or anything. Some of the dolls are a little more than what I would want to pay for, but I would say a majority of the dolls in the store are pretty market accurate. So some clothing, some Integrity bodies, some more Barbies. Also Disney dolls. They had a bunch of Disney dolls as well. Lucy. So many Lucy dolls. You'll see in a second how many Lucy dolls there are. Star Trek. More Disney. But yeah, I don't know, the framing of this video is so strange, and I really should have paid more attention to that, but it's better than nothing. So more Integrity dolls. Or not Integrity, I'm sorry, these are Barbie, duh. Vintage, lots of vintage Barbies. But yeah, so much cool stuff. And like these shelves look like my collection at home, where they're just kind of like deep, like 5 or 6 deep. And then there's a bunch of Kens down here, which I was like tempted. I kind of did like a quick scan to see if there's anything that was like that stood out to me, and I was like, I think I'm good for now. I also kind of went into this not wanting to spend a bunch of money. So I was trying to be mindful of that. Side Dream of Genie doll is really cool. This Cleopatra, I actually picked up a few times. I was like, ooh, shiny gold. But yeah, here's some more Lucy dolls. These are really fun. Audrey Hepburn. Marilyn Monroe. This Elton John doll I also picked up and looked at multiple times. Cruella de Vil. 2 Carol Burnett dolls. More Lucy dolls. Jurassic World. Ferrari Barbie. James Bond. Romeo and Juliet. Some more Cher dolls. Some more Barbies. That's a Hostess, I believe. Yeah, just some like really fun dolls that I literally did not really spend time to look at, which if I had more time. Also, when you're going with a group, the Goldie Hawn one I looked at as well. This one is also really cool. I don't like the base doll, but I do love the dress. But yeah, when you go with a group of people, I always feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to hold people up and like spend hours looking at stuff when people are like waiting to like leave or whatever. So that's another reason why I was like, okay. So I was like, I need to be kind of quick, but I was trying to get shots of almost everything. So A midge. And some loose dolls with box dolls. I think there's a Queen Elizabeth back there. Some randos. Some more randos. Lots of Barbies. I saw Ken. Dance club. I love the packaging of the dance. I love the logo. It's pretty cool. It's fashion jeans. Ken. Pretty cool. Army Barbie. So many Barbies. The Rappin' Rockin' Christy and Barbie. It's Rose Barbie, super pretty. So Slumber Party Teresa. There's Kevin, good old Kevin. The Fashionistas. Amazing Nails. Barbie. Elton John. Elvis Presley, which is pretty cool. Another Audrey Hepburn. Flintstones. Some Barbie and the Rockers. Some Superstar Barbie. Repro or Inspo Barbie. This set, Disney set. This was funny. Someone had repackaged the Wish set, which was hilarious. Lots of repros in here. I think if I had not been recording, it would have been easier to kind of look at everything a little closer. But I don't know if you've ever tried recording while you're looking at something. It's kind of challenging. I haven't found a way to do that well. So, and most times when I'm recording out and about, I'll record and then I'll go back and actually look at what I'm looking at, because it's hard to look while you're recording. These looks dolls. There's a whole stack of cases, like Barbie cases, which is really fun. So many different kinds. And this room was, I think it was like, yeah, buy one, get one free. So much stuff in this room. And I could spend probably an hour in here alone, just kind of going through and seeing if there's anything I wanted. So, but you can see it's a good mixture of fashion dolls and baby dolls. And then here's a closer look at some of the cases. This Ken case is pretty cool. This Barbie case. I love the art style, like the old school art style. This Ken case. And then this like kind of like double wide case of Barbie. I think it's Barbie and Midge. Yep. And I think they were pretty reasonably priced. I'm not in the market for a case. This fancy case is pretty cool. I love the shape of it. The Skipper case is also pretty cool. The Jean cases, the Jean Marshall cases. There's a random Aladdin case. Another Skipper case. This Tammy one is pretty cool. The Barbie and Midge. And then there were bins of just like random things, like this Funko, this I forget the Mac, the cop, whatever his name is. But yeah, just like random things in here. I didn't really dig too much in these, but here's a baby Boop doll. Yeah, I kind of was like, I didn't feel like digging, so. But I have a feeling a lot of it was probably baby doll. A whole shelf of gem dolls. I was so tempted to go through this, but I have so many gem dolls that are unclothed. I don't know that it makes sense for me to buy more gem dolls. And then here's some shots of the rest of the store. As you can see, it's a lot of vintage dolls and teddy bears. Of varying sizes. Also, I couldn't believe how big some of these dolls were. Like, they were like life size almost, like a child. Here's Raggedy Ann, a section of Raggedy Ann dolls, which is pretty cool. Some more teddy bears. Some heads, some parts, lots of parts. So also, this place also repairs dolls. So if you have like a vintage doll, like a baby doll or something that needs repair, I think they do that. Some Kewpies, some Kewpie dolls, which is super cute. More parts. But you can see like how overwhelming this could be because there's literally everything's like, there's so much like jammed onto these shelves. It's almost hard to look at if you don't know exactly what you're looking for. These were interesting. I think these are custom Jean Marshall dolls, I think. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel like. More Jean Marshall dolls. More Jean Marshall dolls. These are some. This is like a random smattering of dolls. This Diana Ross doll is pretty awesome. I wouldn't mind having that. There's David Bowie. This was like an expensive case. There's a fantasy Barbie and Ken. But yeah, these are dolls that are on the pricier side. That's why they're in the case. Speed Racer is pretty cool. Flintstones in the back there. And then we had some just like random nude dolls. These were on the vintage side, which is pretty cool. If I ever get into customizing vintage dolls, I definitely know where to go. So Talking Tina, which I feel like I've heard of Talking Tina. Some smaller dolls. Cabbage Patch. That's for you, Chad. There's another one. Yeah, some more vintage baby dolls. Also, Dolly Darlings. I don't remember if I've heard of Dolly Darlings or not, but they're like small, little squat, little baby dolls. So they're cute. I was looking for a boy doll, but I didn't see any in there. And then some more smaller dolls. And then a bucket of accessories, I believe. These were like packed in plastic baggies. So just like very random assortment. And then a bin of little kittles, which I need to see if there were any boy kittles, because I wouldn't mind having a couple of those. Some more just random accessories. This is kind of what I'm talking about with the camera angle. Like, I was obviously looking above what you're seeing, but my camera was lower, so I had to kind of like catch myself when I was doing this. But yeah, I would have loved to kind of go through these boxes of clothing to see what was there. Found this bathrobe. I have the Ken one, so some more baggies. Oh, clothing. And then there's an American Girl section here. Which isn't surprising that they have these as well. I didn't realize they made tiny American Girls. That's kind of cute. And then a Madame Alexander case. This is a Jungle Book set, so that's supposed to be Baloo, and then with Mowgli. That's how you say his name. This clothing room was kind of insane. So many pieces of doll clothing in here. So many like little parts and stuff. So yeah, it's insane. It's insane how many parts are in this room. So yeah, like I said earlier, they definitely do doll repairs, and I'm sure that's where they get all their stuff. And then this last thing I want to show you is a doll museum. So they have this giant case, just like jam-packed with all different types of dolls. I'm assuming throughout the years. It's pretty cool to see all this stuff kind of together. Again, definitely a thing where in order to see everything, you have to like sit and just literally like go from like doll to doll to make sure you see everything, or you know, you can pause the video and look, but there's so much stuff in here. It's cool. It's cool. There's definitely a history here. Again, I'm not really into this kind of stuff, but the tomato head is cool, whatever the tomato head is. But yeah, so. And that is Gigi's. right, so that was Gigi's. As you could tell, it was kind of it's a lot. It's a lot to, if you're, especially for a first timer. This is actually my second time going to Gigi's. So I kind of had an idea of what I was walking into, but yeah, it's really cool to see all that stuff. Even though I'm not interested in the antique side of things, I think it's really cool to see how much of it, the variety of it, the scale of it. So it's really fun. I did enjoy myself for sure. But yes, I did pick up one thing there. And if you know me, I think you can figure out what I purchased. Spoiler, it was in the video. So I ended up picking up this fashion jean Ken. Or fashion jeans Ken. I love this doll so much. I've definitely seen this doll online, and he might even be on my wish list, but I saw him and I was like, you know what? I need to pick something up from my trip to Gigi. So I thought, why not pick up fashion jeans Ken? So he is really fun. He is from, what year is he from? 1981. So he's from the 80s, early 80s. But yeah, he is great. He's literally in a pink, like kind of like polo shirts and jeans. And I believe he's wearing like black, like cowboy boots. So it's a really fun outfit. I just love the fact that number one, his shirt is like a V-neck. It's like it's kind of a low V-neck for Ken. But then he also has his name, like kind of like, embossed on his shirt. It's just a sticker, but I think that's really fun. And also on his back pocket is also like embroidered or whatever. So that's also really fun. But yeah, this is part of a set. So there is a Barbie that goes along with this fashion jeans Ken, and she has a more like fuzzy top. So, and her outfit, she's actually really cool too. I might pick her up in the wild. I feel like she's a lot more expensive than this Ken, unfortunately, but she's got the fun kind of like pink piping. And she also comes with pink boots, which is really fun. But yeah, so also they are coming out. It may be out already. I don't know. But there's a 2-pack that is inspired by these dolls, and it's a more like updated version. It's a Ken and Barbie, and they are wearing similar outfits, pink and blue. I don't know that I like the set though. I think the modernization of this is like, I don't know, especially the Ken. I feel like the Ken's shirt is a little like, it's like too big or something for him, which is really strange. I don't know. I'm not picking this set up. If I were to find that Ken in the wild at like a flea market or something, I might pick him up, but I'm not going to pay. I don't even know how much they're going to cost. But anyway, yeah, I just thought it was funny that those are coming out, and I found this guy. So, So yeah, let me know what you thought of Gigi's, and if there's anything that you saw that you would have picked up. I know there was a lot. So yeah, let me know in the comments below. And thank you so very much for watching. I truly, 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 truly appreciate it. If you haven't already, please remember to subscribe. I hope you're having a lovely whenever you're watching this, and I will catch you next time.